one. Let's talk about the EPICVERSE teaser, is what it's called. So,
I like how you went live to tell me that. I like how you went live to tell me that. Waited until we were live to tell me what to watch.
And yeah, as everyone can see, even Mike, the title of this stream is "Let's Talk About the EPICVERSE teaser," which is exactly what we are going to be doing today on this stream. So, in case some of you might not realize, last week we dropped our very first teaser for EPICVERSE, and I do have it here as well that I can play for you guys for those who haven't seen it yet. So we'll probably go ahead and do that in a bit as well.
Yeah,
and you guys can check it out. We'll wait until there's a few more people in here. But we do have an EPICVERSE YouTube channel as well. They can go follow. That way you can stay more directly connected with what's going on with EPICVERSE. We'll be dropping some other videos there, some other updates and things like that. We also have a website now as well, epicverse.tv, that you can go check out as well. Right now, there's not a whole lot on the website, but still you can maybe get a little bit of an idea of some of the stuff that maybe coming down the line for EPICVERSE. So yeah, we got Drunk 3PO already trolling in the chat.
Wow, that took him no time at all.
Yeah.
Like no time.
There he is.
Late to our own stream. A wizard is never late. Yeah. Imagine if one wizard is never late, then that means two wizards like never ever late. Doubly not late.
Ooh.
Are we wizards?
I think so.
That's the poll.
Yeah. Are we wizards?
Are we wizards? Just no context for anything. Are we wizards? Yeah, man, I was actually really, really excited to drop that teaser though. That was a lot of fun. And everybody that showed up, dude, you guys are freaking amazing. It went crazy all over. Everybody was sharing it and talking about it. Got, Drunk 3PO watched it.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, and that guy's a freaking legend
about it, but
no, he hasn't spoken to me since. I don't know where he went to. But it was a good time. Yeah, man. I had a blast trying that out. They talked about it on Friday Night Tights. Shadversity called us out, talked about it. Not called us out like in a bad way. He was like, "Oh,
I was gonna say, like,
I'm kind of excited about this." No, he was excited about it, and I was like, "Dude, that's awesome." So yeah, man. No, we just been really blessed.
I'm surprised he didn't do like some sort of breakdown of the axe and how I threw the axe and all that type of stuff. Like,
yeah. He's like, wait a minute. I think it's because he knows the axe throw is good.
Yeah.
Drunk asked why we're not in Florida. We're on our way. We'll get there.
Yeah. We're heading out in a little bit.
Yeah, a couple days or something.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Don't pressure me on this, okay? I'm already stressed as it is.
The question is, why are you not in Michigan, Drunk?
Yeah, actually, that's a much better
Flipping
question.
the script here.
Yeah. Where are you? Drunk 3PO's dodging us and pulling the Mazda.
Yeah, right.
He's dodging me, you dogs. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna share this out with people so that they can come say hi real quick.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't do that already? I already did that.
Oh no, nope.
No, I'm way ahead of you on this, dude.
I sure did not.
It's okay. How's everybody doing, by the way? Look at that. The rookie critic says, as Count Dooku would say, "I've been looking forward to this." Yeah. Will this be better than the Taker's Crown? I wonder. Wow, look at rookie critic getting old school with it.
Wow, getting really old school.
Old school Josiah rises.
By far and away, yes. There won't be any comparison, to be honest. So
yeah.
Except
good comparisons, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't want bad comparisons. Be like, no, Taker's Crown was pretty dope. That's old school, dude. I just haven't heard that title in so long.
It was all right.
You talk about it like you didn't have anything to do with it. You're like, yeah, that's a thing. Some guy did that time one time.
I learned a lot. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Well, you don't grow as a filmmaker unless you try.
That's true.
That's true. That's what we constantly telling people, dude. That's why we did the EPICVERSE, because if you don't try, you don't know. A lot of people talk about, hey, you guys, why don't you stop complaining and criticizing and do your own thing? And then they never do their own thing. They only wait for other people to do it. But now we're doing our own thing.
Right.
EPICVERSE. Yeah. Oh, hello and good evening all from British Ulster, USGB. That sounds like another dimension. Maybe another universe. I don't know.
Uh,
DM Brimstone says my new stove gets installed tomorrow. Hell yeah,
oh,
dude.
that's Pogs.
He's been without a stove for like a month and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
They just were like, who needs to cook food? Cringe. Yeah. Who freaking cooks food, bro? Do you even cook, bro?
Yeah, there's ice cream. What more do you need?
Yeah. Well, food. Regular food is usually good. It's the little things, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, man. No, we're excited. Yeah, we're also going to be in Florida in a couple days.
Yes, we are. Yep.
We're going to be hanging out, you know, dicks out
It'll
for
be,
Harambe in Florida.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. We have a lot of posters as well that we shared for everyone as well.
Yes.
That we're going to have available at the meetup exclusively for the meetup.
Yeah.
So
if you don't get it at the meetup, you won't get a poster for this.
You'll never get this poster ever again.
Ryan's been sharing it out everywhere. He's so excited about it. So, but yeah, you won't awesome. Look at it, but you will not get the actual physical poster. And I will tell you guys right now, seriously, these posters are so legit. Like they're extremely well done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, got to get on it while the getting's good. Maybe. Is that what the saying is? Get it while the getting's good.
Can we send you guys music, scripts, art, etc. for EPICVERSE? Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have the
you can either send it to us on Twitter, you can send it to Mike, you can send it to me, you can send it to EPICVERSE, you can send it to our email as well. We do have a bunch of like contact info that's available on the website, so we have a lot of different ways that you can send stuff to us if you want to, and we will happily take a look at it. So
absolutely. Yeah.
Let's see, what is everyone saying here in the chat? I can't wait to see the first project from EPICVERSE. Yeah. So we just got our finalized edit for the first project done today. So so let's just say that there will be multiple things that will be coming, and I'm really excited for each and every one of them. It's gonna be awesome. So
yeah.
Mike, are y'all still copying Ripa?
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. Here's the funny thing about that, because like some people have been like, oh, well, Ripaverse, EPICVERSE. We actually had the name EPICVERSE before we even knew anything about the Ripaverse.
Yep.
Like we had been talking about the name and trying to come up with the name for a while and had no idea.
Mike and I, we went through I don't know, we probably went through like 50 different names that we had for what we were going to call the studio. And we really, really took a long time trying to hash out what exactly we wanted to name it. And then we decided to go with this, and it wasn't obviously because of the Ripaverse. It was before we even knew about it. So
yeah, but people that like don't care and are just wanting to like look for a reason to be like, critical for no reason. Not that Trucker Rob is, but other people.
Yeah,
like. They're like, oh, no, you're just copying Ripa. I'm like, there's lots of verses that's not even like a new thing, But the cool thing is it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek about storytelling, because like epics are like what stories used to be, and verses are like stanzas within epic poems and stuff. Kind of like a play on words,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of meaning that you can get from that name, which is kind of one of the reasons why I liked it. So I think it works out pretty good. So I like the name, and I think that it works well for the brand. And it's not the first time anyone's ever used verse for anything. And so
somebody said it's not a race, it's a competition anyways. Y'all are contemporaries and rivals. 100%. We're not trying to compete with people, I mean, maybe with some of the bigger dogs that are kind of getting complacent about storytelling and stuff, but we're not trying to compete with Ripa. We're not trying to compete with Shad or Razorfist. We're working all together, and that's the cool part about it. That's the best way to get there.
And it's really cool because we're all kind of in our own different fields as well. Like we're kind of going at it with more of like the movies and the TV and some of that type of stuff. Obviously Ripa's doing comics, so we all kind of have our own little area that we are focused on as well. So
100%. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing, because like, the thing in like Hollywood and a lot of these places and stuff like that, these guys are just all in competition with each other. They have no interest in helping each other or seeing other people succeed. It's all about them. Like, what can we do? It's cutthroat. I mean, if you listen to anybody talking about what it's like to live in LA, it's awful. Everybody's against each other. Everybody's trying to, stab each other in the back and all this stuff. And dude, none of that works. Like, look at how miserable everybody is.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
And nobody trusts each other. You can't tell who your actual friends are and stuff. We didn't want any of that shit in our life or in, what we're trying to do. So we're trying to work alongside of people, and like somebody else's success can become our success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Instead of like keeping it all to ourselves and not trying to help other people around us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all understand that we all kind of have a common goal with what we were trying to do as far as the cultural impact, and we all kind of have commonality in that. So
yeah,
and the great thing about it is that we personally know these people as well. Like, we know Ripa, we know Shad, we know all these different people. So it is like we are all kind of part of this fellowship, working to do this change, create this change for the culture. So
would you say it's a fellowship of the ring?
Depends on whose ring we're talking about, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, Disprue says, which epic came first, Epic Mic or EPICVERSE? Oh, did you just click on it just at the same time?
Yeah. So it's kind of funny because this all kind of started with Epic Man, actually.
Yes.
The kind of the YouTube channel that we started, was that was in 2020? Yeah, that was like,
it was in 2020 when we were all sitting around at home with nothing to do.
Yeah. So we started the YouTube channel Epic Man, where we basically just made these weird videos where we tried different foods and things like that, and it was a good time. I mean, I'm a big foodie. I'll eat food no matter what. So and
whatever it is, he'll eat it. Yeah.
So it all kind of started with that. I think you kind of came up with Epic Mic because of that, because of Epic Man.
Cross branding. Yep.
And then we kind of went through a list of like I said, we seriously went through at least like a couple dozen different or like a few dozen different like names that we were trying to come up with for the name for the studio and stuff. And then eventually we just kind of went back to our roots, and we're like, what about EPICVERSE?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad, actually.
Yeah, because Epic Man for like a Epic Man Studios.
Oh man, that'd be so cringe. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're like, no. I mean, the idea is storytelling, and stuff like that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and like Mike was saying earlier, like the whole idea of like verse, like EPICVERSE, it can stand for either like the idea of like an epic universe, or it can also be kind of like the idea of like kind of an ode back to some of the like the old poems and some of the great stories that are still around to this day, like Beowulf and things like that, which are stories that Mike and I love, and kind of like an honorary tribute to some of those stories that have shaped the way that we view stories culturally speaking today. So
yeah, absolutely. I think that's a big thing, is like old school storytelling. I mean, like that's how like society came. Like that's how one of the first things that all societies have kind of done is tell stories. It's how history was passed down for generations upon generations and stuff. And I think it's a lost art form when you commercialize it in the goal of making like She-Hulk kind of revealed, just making algorithmic like decisions, like, okay, what's going to make us the most money, what's going to appeal to the most people. Then you miss the subtlety and beauty, and even sometimes the flaws of storytelling that make stories good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like trying to make a flawed character because that's what's going to sell isn't nearly as interesting as making a character that has flaws, because that's what the story like organically demands, or creates, because sometimes you run into flaws that you don't expect. It's easy to make a character that's like, oh, I'm a hardened cowboy that's an alcoholic, and you're like, okay, cool, yeah, like we've seen that a million times. But like sometimes it's a kind, loving father who also secretly is like a serial killer or something weird. Like, I mean, you just kind of sometimes put together weird combinations and you find stuff that works. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. And typically when it works really well, it's like catching lightning in a bottle. So yeah, absolutely. X-Ray Girl says hi.
Where's Disparu?
he he hit 100,000 and he's too big for us now.
Yep.
Is he at 100 yet? Is he at,
I don't know.
100K?
He's got to be close.
I'm looking at him right now. I'm just looking it up right now. Yeah.
Gotta be close.
He's at 99.1.
Look at that. Look at
Bro,
that, baby.
he is right around the freaking corner. Dude, hail Disparu.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. This guy, Steve Holt, says, I don't get hired for jobs in LA because they're specifying they only want POC. Yeah, they got to get those diversity boxes checked. It's really important.
Yeah.
Here at EPICVERSE, we'll hire you no matter what your skin color.
Yeah.
Unless you're green, maybe. I don't.
I mean, we might be able to make that work somewhere.
Yeah. We're like, oh man, you're green. I don't know. No, dude. I mean, that's the thing, you know. Yeah. It's funny because part of the reason that like Hollywood is where they are now is because sometimes they make their own problems. So if you only hire a specific type of person and now you're trying to go back and fix that, then you only hire one other type of person and exclude another type to like make up for it. You created your own problem. Like nobody, like if you had just from the get-go just been like, yeah, we'll hire whoever we need and the best people for the job, you would have never been here. Because now you're admitting that you didn't, and now you're not doing it again. You're just saying we have to make up for it by hiring a specific group of people. So
yes. Yep. Exactly. And that's only going to affect the quality of everything that you're doing. And you know, that's why, yeah, like here we're going to hire based on merit, and that's the only thing that matters. So
yeah, absolutely.
Have you guys got any projects lined up? Oh baby. Oh None. Baby, do we have projects lined up?
Oh yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Absolutely not a single one. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of projects.
That teaser, that was it. That's EPICVERSE. Hope you guys enjoyed. It was a good ride. And
it took us 2.5 years to get that done. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, how long did it take us to get that promo done though? What?
Oh man, altogether? Like
yeah.
Like as far as like hours or
like, well, because I mean, from like even conceptually to like we got it like filmed and everything, it's like what, like 3 weeks
from like the conception all the way to completion. It was probably like it was probably about a month, I would say.
Yeah, about a month. I mean, so that's about a month for those. So you gotta imagine that the bigger projects are going to take a little bit longer than that. So yes.
Yeah. We do have a lot of stuff that we're working on right now, but obviously we're asking for some patience because there's a lot that we have to do when it comes to obviously making movies and shows and everything else. So
yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And if you guys want to, you can always go and check out the website. We do have some little nuggets, some little teasers over there as well.
Well, the best part,
go check out. So
these obviously these things are all blurred out, but they are all relevant to projects that we have coming. Like every single one of these coming soon is a project that is in development, like either post-production, early production currently, or so like all of these are being worked on. So
yep. So you guys can go check that out and have some fun over there if you want to. And see what you think. So let's see here. You guys stopped doing the Saturday streams? Question mark. Yeah, we did. Yeah. At least for now. We'll see.
I was gonna let you answer that question. I'm like, I'm not touching that one.
I mean, we're kind of trying to reevaluate it and figure out what works because the Saturday streams weren't really working for some of the people that were on the panel, and we obviously have a lot going on with EPICVERSE and everything else. So we're just trying to figure out what's the best way to go about doing streams and stuff. So
we want to find a good time for everybody because, like, I mean, I'm busy really busy during the week. Josiah's really busy during the week. We're busy with stuff that we're working on together and things that we work on separately. So, like, also trying to find a good time to stream in between there and stuff. And the worst thing I feel like would be to do a stream and then never be consistent about it. It would be like better to not do it at all or do it consistently. And like, you just didn't want to have to be like, oh, sorry guys, we're not doing the stream this week, but maybe like in 2 weeks we'll be doing a stream. So look, it's like,
yeah, exactly. And then obviously we won't be around this Saturday because we'll be down in Orlando. So So,
But
but we'll try to figure something out. So,
yeah, absolutely.
X-ray girl. What's up? How's it going, X-ray girl?
Yeah, she's gonna be on D&D later today.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. Yeah.
Trucker Rob, thank you for the $2 super chat. Oh, was that your Walmart again, Mike?
Hi. That's yeah. My Walmart specifically. It's the only Walmart I go. No, I'm just kidding. One of these days, you'll just. I'm waiting to be like at a Walmart, and it'll be at the same time that Trucker Rob's there, and he'll just be like honking and stuff. And I'm like, "Who is that?" And just walk inside. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to see. Yeah, if you guys have obviously any questions about EPICVERSE, feel free to drop it in the chat, and we'll try to answer some of the questions that we have. I do have the teaser pulled up as well, so we can check that out for those who haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. That's a good idea. You should get that pulled up.
Blabs, what are you doing, Blabs? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do we want to tell people what Blabs does for EPICVERSE?
Sure. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. So Blabs is actually our social media manager. She's the one that posts all the stuff that goes viral every week. She's literally more popular than any of us have ever been on our own. So on our own Twitter, like she'll post like, "Do you like waffles?" And he gets like 59,000 looks at and stuff. And we're like, "Hey, we got this new project," and people are like, "Okay," and you're like, "Yeah, isn't that cool?" And they're like, "Yeah, whatever, dude. Just like get back to asking about waffles and fish." Yeah.
Oh,
I'm trying to see here. Yeah. One of the ones that sometimes things like that she shares are just crazy.
Some of the like the dumbest, most random things just blow up, and it pisses me off. It's like, come on.
It's amazing though. It's so good. Yeah. No, much love to Blabs because she actually does a really good job on social media and staying on top of posts and stuff like that. And it helps a lot. So as much as terrible as Twitter can be and as terrible as social media can be, like it's vital in today's day and age to like get out there and get the word out and stuff like that. So there you go, Blabs. Also, the egg definitely came first. Well, the chicken came first. The chicken came first. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
chicken was like, oh man, I got
technically you need two chickens. You need a rooster and a chicken to
imagine that the chickens are like, oh man, dude, I don't feel so good, and it's just for the first time it's like, what was that? It wasn't poop. It wasn't poop.
What the fuck?
It's this giant thing. And they're like, what did you eat? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. You started a argument about pancakes and waffles now.
Oh, geez. Well, I should probably make a poll about that then here.
Yeah.
It's kind of mandatory. Like whenever those are brought up, you gotta talk about
that's always a good one. So,
yeah.
This Bruce says pancakes are infinitely better than waffles.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Really? You like pancakes better than waffles?
Oh yeah, dude. I've always liked pancakes better than waffles, yeah. There's just something about a light, fluffy, beautiful, airy pancake covered in syrup that just is unbeatable. Listen, waffles are great too, though.
I am shocked.
Yeah.
And I love both.
Yeah.
I'd have to go with waffles though. I like the crispiness on the outside of them. You know what I mean?
You can make pancakes crispy on the outside.
Yeah, it's not really the same though. I will say though, like blueberry pancakes are like, oh my gosh,
they slap.
So good.
I don't normally like fruit in any of my desserts, but blueberry pancakes can slap.
Really? You like blueberry pancakes? Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I like regular pancakes more, but if I'm going to have fruit in my stuff, that's probably the best one to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Are you making EPICVERSE plushies? It's definitely something that might be coming down the line. So we're actually we are going to have EPICVERSE featured on 221B Tactical. So it's going to be available. We're going to have merch that's available through 221B Tactical, the same place that the Geeks and Gamers merch is coming through as well. So there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of possibilities for what we can do when it comes to merch and things like that. So I'm really excited for what we can do over there because 221B has been awesome to work with, and they're great people, and they are totally open and willing to try to get anything that you want made. So, which is really cool. So,
absolutely, man, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah. You guys got any idea on timescales for full announcements on projects? So we really haven't announced much when it comes to this yet, but the only thing that I'll say about that is that you can expect us to do a really massive community reveal sometime next year, where we are going to let you guys know everything when it comes to EPICVERSE. So
yep, absolutely. And if there's stuff in between there that shows up, we'll obviously keep you guys posted on it.
Yep. But yeah, like we might still drop some other teasers and things like that, some little bits, just to let you guys kind of know what's going on with EPICVERSE, and just to make sure that you guys still understand that we are still working on stuff. It's just taking a little bit because obviously we've got to create the content for you guys and everything else. But the whole idea is that when we want to save kind of our everything for a really special event for you all. So that's kind of what we're doing. So and it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait for you guys to see what we're working on.
It's 100% gonna be worth it. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's gonna be so dope. Like, I mean, even like it's one of those things. Like, even watching watching stuff that you've worked on be done is awesome, but it's even better when you're like, dude, this is exactly what we wanted, or like this is exactly what we were hoping for. So
exactly. Trucker Rob, thank you for the $10 super chat. I'm curious what sort of genres you'll be diving into. So we don't really have any limitations as far as that goes. We do have one thing that we are working on right now that is, I would describe it more of like an action, kind of a cross between an action film and with a lot of drama, I would say, is how I would describe it. Besides that, like a lot of the stuff that Mike and I are working on when it comes to what we're writing and producing for EPICVERSE is heavily like fantasy and sci-fi. But we aren't really limited to that either. Like, we're totally open to whatever, as long as it's a good story. It's really what it boils down to at the end of the day. But Mike and I, with our interests, we definitely have more of an interest in the fantasy and the sci-fi genres. And just based on a lot of the feedback that we got quite a few months back from just kind of the community and what people wanted to see, we were kind of like asking people, okay, do you want to see more of like superhero type of content? Do you want to see more fantasy type of content? What are you guys looking for when it comes to what you'd like to see when it comes to entertainment? It was overwhelmingly a lot of people wanted to see good fantasy, like original fantasy type of content. Like the stuff that we are creating is all original. It's all coming from my head, Mike's head, other writers' heads. And I'm really happy about that, because we don't really have anything that is in the works that is an adaptation or a sequel or anything like that. We want to try to keep away from as much of that type of stuff as we can. So
and that's the other thing too, is like, if we're gonna do stories that maybe have like, I mean, like if you were going to do stories, like Hollywood is like notorious for like, oh, we'll take this story and then we'll put like a modern twist on it, or we'll take this story and do this thing with it and stuff like that. But like our hope is to tell stories that don't often get told. There are some like ideas we have for whether they're going to be a series or a movie or whatever we're going to do, of stories that have been told before for years and years and years that we've never seen in Hollywood. Just because Hollywood doesn't touch them, Ripper talks about it all the time. I mean, and I'm not saying that this is specifically one thing we're working on or anything, but the idea is like Ripper talks about it all the time. Like Africa has a massive, like plethora of mythology and stories and characters to be mined for movies or shows and books and comics and all kinds of stuff. And there's very, very, very few people that do anything with it, that talk about it, share anything of it, and that's the kind of stuff we want to do, is be able to find stories that aren't being told and tell those stories and tell them well and with quality and with respect for what came before. Whereas like Hollywood will go like, oh, here's another Robin Hood adaptation. What if Robin Hood was a girl? And you're like, that's your twist. And they're like, yeah.
Right.
And I'm
Yep.
like, well, we don't want it to be like, oh, what if Robin Hood was a girl and that be the whole gist of our stories? Like, it actually is about, hey, how can we tell these stories and continue to like tell these stories to people so that those same messages and ideas and concepts are being like portrayed to the public and portrayed to people. So that way, like, we're honoring people, like the generations that came before us that had these stories for a reason. Those stories were important to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, so one of the things that Mike and I will say this, like one of the adaptations that Mike and I have talked about doing that would probably be like one of the only adaptations that we would have an interest in actually diving into would be to create like an actual good like Beowulf film someday.
Yes.
That's something that we are both very, very interested in. We've talked about some other things like Epic of Gilgamesh and some of that type of stuff as well. Like some of those older stories that never really have had a proper adaptation would be kind of cool. But besides that, that is like probably the most interest that Mike and I actually have when it comes to any sort of adaptation or anything like that.
100%. So. Yeah. Because like the thing is, it's important that if we're going to do it, we're going to do it for the right reasons. And sometimes stories just either it's not ours to tell or we don't have interest in them. And that's the thing, instead of going like, cool, let's just do we'll just, like Disney and stuff has done this a lot. They're like, you know what, let's tell a story about this fairy tale because we know it'll probably make us money, or like the Hercules movie. Like, I know a lot of people really like the Disney Hercules movie, but if you listen to the story behind it, the writers really wanted to tell Treasure Planet. That was what they wanted to do. And instead Disney was like, cool, you can do Treasure Planet after you do this Hercules movie. And they made it as generic and like as possible. And all the messaging is about how like corporate selling up to like corporations and for money and stuff doesn't make you a hero. Like all the messaging is right in that movie. Like he sells out, basically sells his merch and all that stuff. And that's more important to him than actually being a hero and being like sacrificing and trying to do something because it means something.
Right.
So, yeah. Yep. And I know like Treasure Planet didn't do great, but you can obviously see the heart in that movie. And like, there was a lot of care and work that went into that did not go into some of the other projects that Disney did during that time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any comic preview trailer? I'm not sure what we're not doing comics. Yeah. So I don't know if
maybe that's the other thing. Yeah. We're not making a comic book. We're not a comic book company.
No.
Like if we get into comic books, it's because somebody that we work with or one of us is like, I've been really passionate about it. I like comic books. I have a lot of comic books. I don't have long and short boxes, but I do have a lot of comic books and I've read comic books, but comic books weren't what I grew up watching. That really inspired me. Like it was like TV, like movies, television, stuff like that. Like as a kid, like Batman animated series was like one of my favorite cartoons like ever. It still is one of my favorites, things like that. So I grew up watching all kinds of movies and stuff like that too. So those were what inspired me. Comics were always cool, but I was also too poor to afford them. It's a lot easier to go watch a movie than it is to like buy a series of comics and follow the whole story. So
right. Yep.
You
guys still accepting job applications? Yeah, feel free to send us an email at EPICVERSE studios@gmail.com. And that's how a lot of people can kind of send us things that they have as far as resume goes or whatever else. So
yeah, absolutely.
Feel free to send us whatever you want and we'll take a look at it. So
yeah.
Chef Nick Nero, thank you for the $5 super chat. French toast is better than both waffles and pancakes. Only good thing about pancakes is the ability to add things to batter.
Well, his name is Chef.
I mean, he is the chef. So,
dude, you want to hear something crazy right now?
Sure.
10 minutes in, 66 votes. Waffles and pancake are deadlocked at 50-50. At one point, pancakes were like the far favorite, and then waffles overtook it, and now they're back to 50-50.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that's been so divisive in the history of humanity, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
Grandmaster Key Lime Pancake, by the way, if you don't have Gmail or don't want to use that or whatever, you can also message us on Twitter. We have a lot of different ways to get a hold of us. Instagram, you can find find us on Instagram. Me on Instagram, not just
yeah, well, most of the people that message me on Instagram are people that hate my guts. So
yeah, that's fair. So yeah, like I mean, you can message us on any of those different like branches. If you don't use email, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Because like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean we're pretty accessible, to be honest. So
if you're trying to send me a handwritten letter, I'm not giving you my address. So yeah.
We're also Epic Versus on Facebook as well. So we're all over the place. So
everywhere.
There's nothing like when you set out to make something and then to see it come together and then to get better and better with each project.
Yeah,
that is true. That is
100%. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And obviously, one of the things that I love the most about what we're doing with EpicVerse is seeing the positive reaction and seeing that people are enjoying what we're creating for them. Like that is the best feeling in the world. So and to see just the vastly positive response to just the teaser alone made me really happy. So I think you guys are going to like when you actually see the films and stuff that we've been working on. I'm really, really excited. So
100%, man. Yeah. We're really excited. And yeah, it really is. It's so crazy to watch your stuff like appear or like, watching it come to life. So fantasy Western would be really cool. We don't really see that too often.
No. Interesting.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. I see that he has mountain deer in his profile picture there too.
those elusive mountain deer. They're a thing. They're really a thing. And then
they went extinct.
They died. My gosh. Yeah. Speaking of extinct things, by the way, because we do have a lot going on with EpicVerse. Yes. If you haven't already checked it out, some consistent content you'll get from us is the EpicVerse podcast.
Yes.
So you can check that out. It used to be the Epic Band podcast, but everything is under the EpicVerse umbrella. And so you can always check that out there. It's good. The most recent one was about onions and how evil they are, because they are. Onions are kind of the worst. So yeah. Dude,
right. Yeah. New poll. Are onions evil? Hold on a second.
They are. No, it's not. It's not a question.
Dude, waffles and pancakes are still at a tie. That's crazy.
Dude, it's nuts. There's just
Are
here's a
evil
link to the EpicVerse podcast. I just dropped that in the chat. Rigged pancakes need to win. That's amazing. Fantasy Western of Montana. Yeah.
All right, new poll's up. Let's see. So should we show the teaser now? And
we should absolutely
go from there.
Teaser. Yeah.
By the way, if you guys haven't followed us yet, you can go subscribe to us over on EpicVerse. We have a YouTube channel for EpicVerse now as well.
Yep.
So that way you can kind of like this stream. Obviously, we're doing here on Josiah Rises, but in the future, we're probably going to be doing a lot of these types of streams over on the EpicVerse YouTube channel instead. So and then we'll have all sorts of other things over there for you guys. So
yeah.
So here is the teaser.
Cool.
For years, we've had to deal with Hollywood's woke onslaught of destructive agendas in their films. That changes today. That's why we launched EpicVerse. At EpicVerse, we care about excellent storytelling and respect for our fans. Things Hollywood has forgotten. So follow EpicVerse wherever you can and tell your friends. We can't win without you. Comeback starts today. Will you join us?
Dude, the music is so epic in that.
It's so good, dude. It's so good.
It's so good. The funny thing is, though, like when you watch it for like the 18th time, because like we had to watch it like just so many times, like and like in so many different iterations to get there, and it's just funny because like, finally you get it to release and you're like, that's cool, but like I've seen it like 18 million times
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
it always is nice when people are excited, and then it kind of like revamps that excitement because you're like, dude, that is awesome. We did this, So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think one of the things that obviously with this teaser, the whole idea of it is it's kind of like it's kind of a statement that we're making, but the cool thing about it is that even from that, it kind of ties in with the whole idea of like the phoenix, with that kind of being our logo and everything else, where you have the Hollywood sign, kind of the old guard being burned down, and from that rising from the ashes from the fire of that Hollywood sign, you then get the EPICVERSE logo rising up out of it. And I think that's one of the things that I love so much about this teaser, is that it really shows a lot of symbolism for what we're doing here at EPICVERSE. And it's not just even the content. We're from all the way down to like the very small details of what it takes to make a studio. We're looking at this and we're trying to think outside of the box when it comes to EPICVERSE. We want to kind of do things differently than how things have been done at Hollywood for decades at this point, or even other independent film studio companies and things like that. Like, what can we do to embrace the kind of the times that we are in now, and utilize them to create something that is going to be more personal with our community, and more kind of like, that's something that I am very passionate about, is being able to have these kinds of conversations with people like you guys in the chat, where we can talk about things like this, where we can talk about the things that we've created. Like, probably after every project that we release, we'll do these types of live streams where we actually talk with you guys. You guys can ask us questions, and we can have conversations about what we're actually making for you guys. And in that way, we can also get feedback from you guys as well. So I'm really excited for this. It's going to be looking at film from a whole new perspective, and I'm really excited. So
yeah, absolutely, man. It's very, very, very exciting. It's just, somebody was saying like Westerns are like a lost art form, and I think that that's true. I just wanted to address this really quick. So is it sci-fi or fantasy? It's a TPPT. So like Josiah said, we do a lot of different genres. I mean, typically we fall into sci-fi fantasy more often than not. I will say this: we have a lot of projects on the docket, and they span a lot of different genres of exactly what they all are. But we have one really big project that we're working on that we're really, really, really excited about. We've put a lot of work into it already, and there's still a lot to be done. But yeah, the biggest project we have working on is, and this is the first time we've told this to anybody, fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's a fantasy project. It's going to be dope. It's Yep, and I don't mean like fantasy like it's not like sci-fi fantasy or anything, science fantasy. It's pretty heavily fantasy.
Very, very fantasy. Yeah. But at the same time, it's going to be different than what you typically see in fantasy as well. So it's gonna be so cool. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
The hope was like when we were talking, we love high fantasy. We both were inspired by like Lord of the Rings and things like that. I mean, a lot of people are, but like, I think sometimes the mistake is trying to just make another Lord of the Rings. I mean, that's tough. That's a tough sell. And some people do fantasy very well, but some people, we wanted to do something that felt like something that we were passionate about, and was like honoring what we've learned and what we grew up with, but also has like a different spin on it, because you don't see this story tackled, or like fantasy tackled in certain ways. Like the idea of a Western fantasy is really cool because it has that like genre blending in it in a special way, but we didn't want to also just mad scientist two genres together. We were like, no, this is actually a really cool idea. So
yeah, it's kind of the perfect blend of a lot of those ideas, even some of the ideas that you guys have mentioned in the chat as well. So really excited. That's our biggest thing that we're working on right now. It is a mammoth project. it's huge. But Mike and I, we've been working a lot on just like the story for it and the characters, because we want to get this right. We want this to be like something that people look back on even like 20 years from now and be able to still have that feeling that this is something that's special. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
yep. We want this stuff to be timeless, not topical.
Yep.
Because that's what Hollywood is doing right now, is topical, and these things won't hold on. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll leave my application in the dairy section. Thank you, Trucker Rob. Thank you. Mike will be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk around in a Walmart and just find a letter. This is from Trucker Rob. Yeah. Yeah.
You might be able to find some pretty obscure areas to put a little note there or something.
Yeah, I don't like that, but
Trucker Rob just starts writing you these random notes and stuff. And
yeah. It's like,
leave them
hey
all
man,
over
I left you something
Walmart.
I left you something in the Walmart. Yeah.
Will the films air on EPICVERSE YouTube channel? So we're still kind of working out some of the details for some of this type of stuff. Obviously, we have our website where we're going to be having a lot of our stuff initially shown on the website there, and then some of the projects we might release on the YouTube channel. Some of them might be obviously behind like a membership paywall or something like that as well. So it really just depends on which of the projects we're talking about here. But overall, initially, everything that we're going to be releasing will be released first on the website for people to enjoy there, and then we might release some of that stuff later on YouTube and things like that. So obviously on the EPICVERSE YouTube channel, you'll be seeing a lot of behind the scenes type of content as well. So we'll be having a lot of that type of stuff available there for people to watch as well. So yeah, the YouTube channel will definitely be used a lot. And we'll be having a lot of content available there. It just might not be all of our major projects and stuff. So
it's one of those things. It's like trying to figure out how to do all of this, keep a balance, because, obviously, the goal is to make good content and stuff, but having a website and housing content on the website is important, but also making sure that as many people can get eyes on their stuff that we're working on and stuff like that. So there'd be a lot of, different places and rewards for following us in different areas and stuff like that too. So
yeah. And like and obviously like we kind of one of the things that we want to try to make content as accessible to people as possible, but at the same time, in order to continue to make the films and the shows that we're doing and stuff, we need money as well. So that's why a lot of our stuff won't be just for free as well. So it'll just kind of depend on what the project is. So
absolutely.
Let's see. How's the onion poll going, by the way?
I don't let's not talk about
Oh
that.
my goodness, look at that.
No.
Wow,
That's
look at that.
It's
what,
obviously
chat? I've gained a lot of respect for you.
No.
I
think this is not the most secure poll in history. There's definitely something going on. It's a scam. They're lying to you. Yeah, I don't know, man. I whatever. The frick ever. You guys can like what you like, I guess. Oh, hey, Boomer Sick, what's going on, man? I want to thank you for the $4.99. I want a gay rom-com about gayness. I want it super gay and then promote it via homophobia accusations. It's gay. I don't know if I mentioned that. We don't typically just take ideas just from super chats, but I think we might be able to make an exception in this situation here.
Might be onto something here.
Yeah, we might be onto something here. Just go around and make a movie and immediately accuse anyone that doesn't watch it of being an ism or a phobe. Yeah, if you don't come watch it. So
hey, we can make this like a fantasy world where the only word that people can say is gay.
Yeah.
Well.
Yep. 100%. I dig it. I like it a lot.
Fantasy
that's
gay
the way we
rom-com.
go. Yep. You're onto something here.
Oh,
thanks, Boomer Stick. I appreciate it, buddy. Killing me right now, bro.
I do have one other clip that I wanted to show as well on the stream here. So this is just kind of a funny clip. This was from the night when we were shooting the promo video.
Don't do this.
Yeah. So this is I thought that this was pretty funny. So this is okay. So just to give a little bit of context, this is the first take that we did where I lit the axe on fire.
Oh yeah, this is actually pretty good.
For years, we've had to deal with Hollywood's woke onslaught of destructive agendas in their films. That changes today. That's why we launched EPICVERSE. At EPICVERSE, we care about... Holy shit.
That's so good.
That is a lot. Holy.
Dude, that's amazing. So
Totally
the
threw me
fu-
off.
yeah,
I was like,
totally.
oh,
threw him off. My favorite part about that was like we had rehearsed his line because it was all about beats and like getting that rhythm down because we wanted it within a specific amount of time. And Josiah had rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed, and we were like, we're gonna wait to light the axe until we're ready to go. And we're like, we're gonna do one take where the axe lights on fire, and we're just gonna record it, one take it. And yeah, well, the first time you could tell, like, he lit it. He was like, I didn't expect it to be that much because
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
we
lot
used a
of fire.
lot. Yeah, yeah. And then at
Yeah.
one point after that happened, we had to do another take, and I got the axe ready for like the fire, and I did it a little too much, and so when it went up, and it was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, like I lit the axe, and then I was holding it. I was about to start my lines, and then I just feel like heat just like emanating from it all over my arm, and I was like, oh boy.
Amazing.
Like I have to be careful how I'm holding this axe, or I'm gonna set my jacket on fire.
Yeah, that's amazing. It was actually pretty great though. Yeah,
Salty Army stands with EPICVERSE. I mean, if we have the Salty Army, we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. So
100%.
hail Salty Army. Hail
Yeah,
Salty
absolutely, man. That's so cool.
Army. Does he go up like a Human Torch? You wish, Listener.
Yeah.
You wish.
Yeah, we were concerned at some points because he kept like, yeah, we were because I mean it was doused in kerosene,
Yeah.
so it would like be on fire longer. And sometimes I was like, dude, if that drips on your hand, like
It's
your
over.
hand's gonna go up. Yeah,
it's freaking over.
yeah,
Rise the Iron Age. That's right. That's right. It's an exciting time to be making content and to be making. I mean, there's so many cool things that are happening in just our circles right now, and it's amazing because obviously, you know, we have all these different people that are making these really cool stories and things like that. You know, we have Shad, we have Ripa, we have us, we have Razor Fist and Critical Drinker and all this type of stuff.
Yep.
But the crazy thing about it is that none of what we're doing right now would be possible without you guys being the ones that are
100%.
carrying the torch for us and getting us to that level where we can be the change in the culture that we all have been wanting to see for years now at this point. So like, that's why you guys are just as important to what's happening right now than as the people that are actually creating the stories are. So and we really, really appreciate everything that you guys do to help carry everything that we're doing right now, whether it's from us, from all the other people that are kind of in our circles. So
yeah, yep. We can't. Yep. Rising tide raises all ships, and the hope is that as we all grow and elevate, that we bring people with us, and yeah, that's really important. So
yep. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Jabo Jr. I heard they are bringing the Brie Larson to play the older Galadriel next season to save the show.
Genius. It's really smart call.
Can you imagine? Oh my god.
It's the only way. That's the only way.
Oh man.
To be honest though, the sad part is like I think she'd do a better job than Morphin
Yeah,
Clark.
I think that Morphin Clark's Galadriel is more annoying and more insufferable than Brie Larson's Captain Marvel is.
100%. Yeah. Because Captain Marvel barely had a personality, but she, yeah. Imagine having no personality is better than having one. Yeah. Galadriel's personality.
Dude. So bad.
Sixer Iverson asked me if I was going to braid my hair for the Orlando meetup. No. I thought about it. I thought about braiding it up, but to be honest, the main reason that like I haven't just cut my hair already is because certain female members of Geeks and Gamers have yelled at me about it, and they're like, I just want to touch your hair when you get there. And so I was like, okay, fine, I'll just leave it. And if I braided it, then touching my hair would be really weird. They'd just be like, cool, I'm touching your braided hair. So we're just probably going to leave it in a fro. And then if it gets really bad, maybe I'll like put it all up like a unicorn horn,
there you go.
like
There
that.
you go. Oh my gosh.
No.
I keep telling Mike that he should like shave right down the middle of his head or something.
Yeah.
And then have, like, you look like a clown.
Yeah, just do this. Hey everybody, what's going on? So glad you guys made it to the meetup. Maybe the Frederick Douglass. Let me see if I can.
Drunk 3PO stands with Epic Mile.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I feel bad. There's the Frederick Douglass right there. Yeah, I feel bad because sometimes I will like purposely post like subscribe to Drunk Thropio and stuff, and I spell it all wrong, and he just goes like thanks.
How much oil did you put on that thing? A lot. It was a lot. We actually we like completely just doused it with the first one, and then after that we're like, okay, we could probably cut it back a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is too, like, yeah, we doused it in kerosene, but it wasn't going up as fast as we wanted it to because it was like it would burn a long time. So then we used like spray paint on part of it, and then the spray paint like was like,
oh man,
and then like dude, it was
it was fantastic.
Yeah.
TJ, thank you so much for the super chat. Namaste. Noob question. What's EPICVERSE?
Hey, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
We don't know. It's a mystery. No, it's our production company.
Yep.
EPICVERSE Studios is a production company. We specialize in film, short films, television. That's what we're working on. Those are our main projects. We're not making a comic book. We're not writing any books. Those could be things in the future, maybe. But if we do, we'll let you know. But the main goal is physical, visual mediums.
Yep. EPICVERSE isn't like some sort of like fictionalized universe like the Rippaverse is either. Like that's the name of our studio. So the way that I could describe it is because when we actually start to release some of our projects, you guys will have to keep your eyes open because there could be some little Easter eggs in there that are some crossovers between some of our projects that we're doing. So I guess the best way that I could describe it is that it's picture kind of like Marvel, because Marvel is kind of like the name of the studio, but it's also kind of the universe as well. But our universe is going to be probably a lot more loosely connected than like what you see from Marvel. It's not like that they're all like, oh, it's all connected and this character is going to show up in this thing and all this type of stuff. All of the films and the shows that we're doing are all pretty separate from each other from a story perspective. But there's going to be some little Easter eggs in there that you guys can look for that show that there's some connection between some of the stuff that we're doing. So
absolutely, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Yep. I kind of always like being able to be like, oh wow, did you catch that? Yeah. So.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know, man. We really, really, really want to put our best foot forward with stuff, and that's the other thing too is very similar to Rippa and stuff. We don't want to just tell you we're going to do something and then go like, cool, like we're going to do this thing, and then 5 years later, like we finally get a single project out. Our goal was to really kind of get the ball rolling as soon as possible. So we were working on a lot of projects and already started projects before we even announced anything, because we really wanted to make sure that like there was some connection with like you guys getting to know and kind of seeing the process behind things, but also seeing it in different stages and sometimes how long it takes, because it's hard. Like a lot of times, like a trailer for a movie will get released, and it gets released when the movie is like basically done. And now recently we've seen it where like movies don't get done for a while, and that can negatively affect things. But we really want to make sure that like you guys are knowing and seeing the process and kind of getting almost being connected with us as we're working on projects, instead of it just being like, here's the thing, we throw it at you and then we disappear off the face of the earth for another 6 months. So yeah.
And like I said, like obviously the stream is on this channel, but moving forward, Mike and I are probably going to be doing definitely a lot more streams over on the EPICVERSE channel, where we're just gonna have conversations with you guys, and we can have discussions about what we're working on. And obviously, depending on what stage we are at with whatever projects we're working on, we can tell you guys only so much, but we want to have that connection. We want to have a relationship with our community, with the audience that we're making our films for. So
100%.
Yep. So I think that'll probably be about it for this stream. And obviously, if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to tag us on Twitter, send them to us in DMs or whatever else, or in emails, or whatever you guys want to come at us with when it comes to ideas and questions and things like that. Feel free to approach us. We're, like I said, we're pretty approachable people, so
Yeah.
So yeah, we are more than happy to take all of that. So
Yep. And for the time being, guys, because I know a lot of people are wondering, how can I support EPICVERSE? What can I do to help you guys out and be there for you guys and stuff like that? Right now, because we don't have anything specific, we haven't launched any crowdfunding campaigns or anything like that. Best thing you can do for us is, watch these streams when you guys are watching these streams, things like that. That all helps getting eyes on it, sharing things on Twitter, sharing things on social media. And then obviously, me and Josiah both have our own projects that we're working on. I have a Twitch channel. Josiah has YouTube, all that stuff like that. You guys send super chats, all helps, because it's all stuff we're working on. So all of this is connected. So helping each of us however you want to. We're not begging for money. We're not doing that. Like, we're not DSP. I need tips to pay my bills, everybody. But yeah, anytime you guys send a super chat on these streams, anytime you send a super chat to Josiah if we're doing the Saturday streams, anytime you send anything to me on Twitch or whatever, all of it is just going towards helping EPICVERSE grow. Like that's our main goal right now. And then eventually down the line, once we're ready and we have stuff for you guys, then we can kind of talk about how to consistently support those projects and support us and stuff like that. So
yeah, absolutely,
that's always important.
Yep.
Yeah,
thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you all, and we will keep you all in touch with what we got going on. And thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you all in another stream really soon. Bye.